Hi everyone. I thought we could do a yoga routine to help us sleep. So there's a couple of things that I've got that you may want, or your substitutes for them. A yoga block or a brick, or just something that you can put under yourself to support you that isn't going to slide. A book, large book would be perfect. And I'm sitting up on a blanket, both for something to sit up on for some cushioning, and at the end for our final relaxation you may want something just to keep you warm, particularly as we're starting to settle down for an evening and we want to be comfortable and to be able to relax. There's a couple of things in particular that help with slowing us down and that you would want to do in the evening. So it tends to be more forward folds and inversions, so where the head is below the heart. So you'll see me do a few poses like that. There won't be any standing in this yoga routine, so sitting, lying, kneeling is going to be the whole routine. So make sure that you've got comfortable clothes on, maybe your PJs, so you can go straight from this into bed. And then come into whatever is a comfortable seated position for you. So again, doesn't need to be cross-legged. Just whatever feels right for you. You can have your legs extended out in front. It's absolutely fine. I'm going to start by taking 3 sighs, just to start to calm our nervous system. If it's comfortable for you, close your eyes. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh that breath out through the mouth. Twice more in time to your breath. And hopefully you're starting to allow everything to soften and relax here. Opening up your eyes. Let's just start to do some gentle circles with our head. So we're stretching gently through the neck. And if you can, see if you can match one full circle to one full round of breath. Let's go the other way. So inhaling as you take the head back, exhaling as you bring the head forward. Twice more. Good. And then when you're done with that, just bring your head back to the center. Again, in time to the breath, we're going to inhale, exhale, right ear to right shoulder. And then when you're ready, inhale back up, exhale, left ear to left shoulder. One more time either side, inhaling up, exhaling down, inhaling up, exhaling down. Lovely. Come back to the center. Noticing how your body feels. Let's gently shrug our shoulders up. Release them back down. Shrug them up. Release them back down. And just do some gentle shoulder rolls. First one direction and then the other way. So because this is a wind down session, our movements are all going to be gentle and quite slow. So no need to exert yourself at all. And then from your seated position, wherever it is, let's just do some gentle circles through the hips. Again, maybe in time to your breath, inhaling as you go back, exhaling as you come forward. And then let's do those 3 rounds in the other direction. And it may feel better for you to have your hands down on the floor. You might feel a bit more supported and a bit more stable as you do this. Good. And then from here, let's just extend our legs out if you haven't already. Just going to gently point and flex. A couple of ankle rotations, either way. And then because we're going to go onto our hands and knees next, I just want us to get our wrists prepared. So we're going to extend our right arm forward, gently pull back on those fingertips. Feeling that stretch, feeling that gentle stretch on the underside of the right arm. Then we'll do the same on the other side. Still connected to your breath. And then let's just do a few soft circles with the wrists. Lovely. And then from here, we're going to make our way onto our hands and knees. Just give my top a tuck in, it's a little bit baggy. So coming onto your hands and knees, we're in a very loose tabletop, and I just want you to gently move your body, maybe from side to side. Maybe doing some circles with the hips. Of course, if you would like to put your blanket under your knees to soften, go ahead and do whatever you need to make it comfortable for you. Same if it feels better to have your hands further away or up onto your fists because your wrists are a bit delicate. Just adjust however you need to, making sure you're taking responsibility for your body. From here, let's come into tabletop. So roughly knees are under hips, hands are under shoulders. And we're going to do a few rounds of cat-cow, but we're going to be very gentle with our cow because back bends are invigorating and this isn't the time of day when we want to start to get energized. So, starting with a neutral spine, let's inhale, just raise the head up, then exhale, come into cat pose, arching the spine up, taking the head down between the arms. And again, when you're ready, inhale, raising the head up, just the gentlest of back bends. Exhale, into cat. And again. Last round, taking the head down, arching the spine up. Good. And then from here, just going to walk the arms forward, coming into downward puppy, starting to take the head down between the arms. If this is a little challenging for you, you can keep your arms bent. You might want to rest your head onto a brick. Notice your breath. Feel a gentle stretch through your shoulders and your upper back. So this is where we're moving into the first of our inversions with the head lower than the heart to slow the heart rate down. I'm going to give you another option for this. And we're going to come into what is called rabbit pose. So to come into rabbit, we'll be placing the crown of our head down onto the mat. But I'm just going to show you how to find that crown of the head. So placing this heel of your hand on the bridge of your nose, reach back with your fingers, and that point where that middle finger reaches is pretty well the crown of the head. So that's the spot we're aiming to have touch the ground. Then coming into hands and knees, start to take your head down onto the mat. And it's the crown of the head that we want to touch. You may want to, again, have something under your head. That may feel better for you. And from here, you may want to keep your hands on either side of your head for a little bit of support. If you would like to come a little bit further into rabbit pose, you can raise your arms up into the air. So these are your rabbit ears. Staying connected to your breath. One more round. And then we can place our hands down onto the floor and gently push ourselves back and come into child's pose, which is another inversion. Your choice whether you would like to have your knees together or knees apart, coming into an extended or wide-kneed child's pose. You might want to stack your fists to rest your head on before your body gently softens and allows your head to lower. Or if you're in this pose and you don't have the range in your hips or you're tight in your feet and you can't sink back, you can come into the inversion this way. So again, aiming to have our head down lower than our hearts. One more breath here. And then coming back into a seated position. I just want you to edge back a little bit onto your mats. And then we're going to come forward, down onto our bellies, and come into a Sphinx pose. So for Sphinx pose, your forearms are forward, elbows are under the shoulders, and just engage that. You can wrap your hands around your elbows. You should be able to reach the outside of your elbows. Then take your arms forward. So I'd like you to have some engagement in this. We're not completely soft, but I don't want you to be too active in the pose either, because it is a back bend. And back bends are for energizing. But what we're going to do is come from a soft back bend and then ease ourselves down into crocodile, where we stack our hands on top of each other at the top of the mat, lower our forehead onto our hands, and allow everything to soften and to relax. And then on an inhale, we're going to come back up to Sphinx. Notice how you feel. Bend the legs at the knees, bringing the feet up. Gentle engagement here, squeezing the feet down towards the buttocks. Gentle engagement through the upper back. And then one more time, make your way back into crocodile. Exhale. So what we're effectively doing here is taking the body to a slightly energized state, to what is hopefully a very restful state for you. So it's a little bit of training for our brains, that we can go from this sympathetic state in the nervous system to the parasympathetic nervous system and allow that to dominate. So we can go from a gentle fight and flight into a much more deep relaxation. Beautiful. And then on an inhale, raise your head up. Place your hands either side of your shoulder. Push yourself back. And we're going to come down to sitting on our mats again. We're going to come into a gentle forward bend. Your legs can be bent for this or straight, but we're not forcing anything. And we're just going to gently allow ourselves to roll down. I'm actually going to keep my legs bent here, so I'm going to place my blanket underneath for a little bit of support. Lower the legs there and just allow myself to soften forward. So these forward bends is literally folding in on ourselves, are quietening and calming quite introverted poses. Your arms might really like to soften, fall away, rest on the ground. Good. And then when you're ready, on an inhale, let's start to lift ourselves back up. And we're going to make our way down onto our backs. So this is where, if you've got it handy, you might want to be using your block. So lying down on our backs, legs are bent, soles of the feet are on the mat, and we're going to come into what's called a supported bridge pose. So for bridge pose, I like to have my feet about one handspan distance away from my buttocks. Pushing down on my feet, I start to tuck my tailbone and gently raise that lower and mid back up off the mat. And then from here, rather than remaining engaged and active, I'm just going to place that block under my lower back. I'm going to allow my arms to rest by my side. I'm going to take my feet a little bit wider. Let the knees drop in towards each other. Once more, we're in an inversion. Head is lower than the heart. Your breath should be slowing here. And if you find having the block in this direction, on its side but up higher, isn't comfortable for you, just lay it flat down onto the ground and lower yourself onto that. So the heart doesn't need to be very much higher than the head, only about 7 degrees inclination, to allow the breath to slow down. See if you can notice other parts of your body soften and release. And then we're going to come out of our supported bridge. So if your knees are still together, just bring them apart. Push down onto your feet once more, raising that lower and mid back. Just going to move that brick out of the way and lower myself back down onto the mat. From here, let's come into reclined cobbler, bringing the soles of the feet together, letting the knees drop out to the side. If you find that this isn't comfortable for you, just leave your feet flat onto the mat and bring your knees back upright. From here, we're going to engage in some diaphragmatic breathing. So becoming aware of our diaphragm as we breathe. We're just going to place one hand onto the heart center in the middle of the chest and the other hand on the belly. And notice what our body is doing as we breathe. You might be feeling the movement in the chest as you inhale and exhale. Ideally, where we want to be feeling the movement is in the belly. And that's because our diaphragm has become engaged. So just see if this is a new practice to you. Just see if you can start to shift your breath down lower into your body, where your chest isn't moving so much, but your belly is rising and falling. And again, we do this because it has that calming effect on the nervous system. Now, if it's feeling a little tense for you around the shoulders, holding your hands in place here, just allow your upper arms to lower down onto the floor. So you definitely want to feel supported here. All parts of the body. Hopefully your breath is slowing here. And we'll just do one more round of breath. Good. Before taking our hands to either side of our legs, gently encouraging them up. And then we're just going to have our arms gently out to our sides. We're going to do a few soft spinal twists because the twists are also good for relaxing us. So let's lower our knees to the right. If it's comfortable for you, head to the left. Hold for a full round of breath. Still engaged through the lower belly. Then inhale, the knees back up. Exhale, knees to the left and head to the right. Let everything soften. Take another full round of breath. And then on your next inhale, bring the knees and the head back to the center. Let's extend our legs long onto the mat. Raise our arms up overhead. Come into a full body stretch. Taking a breath in. And then as you exhale, let's sigh the breath out. Lower your arms down by your sides and let everything soften and relax. From here, we're coming into our final relaxation. I want you to make sure you've got whatever you need to be comfortable, warm, and supported. I'm going to place my blanket over my body. As your body temperature will drop now that we've stopped moving. If it feels better for you to bend your legs, feet on the mat, maybe knees gently dropped in together, you may prefer to have hand on the chest, hand on the belly, or it may even be better for you to lie on your side or return back to crocodile. So your final relaxation pose is entirely up to you. You want to be somewhere where you can settle, be comfortable, and hopefully remain still just for a few minutes. Because the stillness also allows our nervous system to settle. If you haven't already and it's comfortable and safe for you, close your eyes. Bring your attention to your breath. Notice the parts of your body, hopefully the belly, that is moving with each breath. And then I want you to stop making any conscious effort at all with your breath. And I want you to imagine or remember what your breath is like just before you fall asleep. So if this means that your breath is shallower, that's absolutely fine. Remember, there's no effort at all here. And then I want you to remember how soft and relaxed your body is just before you drift off to sleep. Because there'll be absolutely no tension at all. So this is where you may realize the areas of your body that you thought you'd allow to soften and relax are actually still a little tight. And from here, if you feel like you do need to move slowly to allow your body to completely soften and relax, do that. We're going to take a gentle double inhale with our breath. So inhaling and then inhale again and then breathe out. Often our body does a little involuntary version of this when we're preparing to sleep. And it's just a way that allows us to relax just that little more deeply. And now for your internal focus, I want you to take your inward gaze to the inside of your forehead. So it's what we refer to as the third eye center in yoga. And just see if you become aware of any images, any colours, any shapes floating through here. And if you don't, that's fine. Remember, nothing here is about making effort. And if it's the first time you've done any of these little practices, it's natural that they won't come to you immediately. So we're not judging anything here. We're being kind to ourselves. We are where we are. We're just softly relaxing. Holding our attention inwards if we can. If you've already made your way into bed and you're doing your final relaxation there, there's nothing else that you need to do. If you're on your yoga mat, we're going to start to gently come out of our deep relaxation so we can go to bed. So you should just start to make any small, gentle movements with your fingers and your toes that your body might like to make. And then any other movements that feel right for you. You might want to just do a little gentle stretching, some soft twisting. Whatever feels right for you. And then we're going to bend our legs, soles of the feet on the ground, onto our sides. I'm just going to pause here for a little bit. And then from here, just start to slowly make your way back to your seated position. And if you prefer, you can keep your eyes closed. We're going to bring the hands to the heart center, rub them to warm them. Then place the heels of the hands on our forehead, gently pull them down to cover your eyes, and notice how this will slow your breath. And then from here you can start to softly move your hands over your face, over your head, maybe into the back of your neck, your arms, legs. So really any parts of your body that feel like they would like that last little bit of attention. And then to end this class, I'm going to do 3 Oms. If chanting feels weird for you, that's fine. Just see if you can match your breath. So you will effectively be doing 3 very long sighs, and we know that calms the nervous system. So let's bring the hands once more to the heart center. We'll all take a deep breath in, sigh that breath out, and then for the chanting, inhale. Om. beautiful, everyone. Namaste. From here, move slowly. You don't want to do anything sudden that causes a surge of adrenaline. Keep the lights low. I hope you all have a wonderful night's sleep.